The same one, like The Fugitive, Conspiracy Theory,
Yes.
Air Force One,
Yes.
like all of those movies where it's
you had
government
actual movie stars
terrorists.
doing these movies that they're not quite indie feeling or topic wise, but they're fringe.
Yeah.
You know, and then like I loved The Fugitive, but Conspiracy Theory was right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already tinfoil hat, you know, by then, but it was like, again, it was like one of those, I can't believe they're making this. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they said the thing.
Okay, so today, you probably I watched football and cleaned my house this weekend.
wow.
So I turned my brain off for like the
Okay.
last few days.
So-
but you don't turn your brain off. So
No.
you went deep in a
Oh my God.
generative
Yes.
engine optimization rabbit hole. Is that what I understand?
And okay, so we had over the dates all run together, but we had massive events that by and large you go to these events and they're always, you know, there's always nuggets of gold, you know, in the moment, and there's always like things that the energy's fantastic or whatever, but usually the takeaways are slim or what you retain is slim. And then what we have, I don't know, probably 2 terabytes of of data over the last 3 weeks of these events. And so on parallel tracks, I'd been doing the day-long AI seminar that we went to with Go Network and the Shoney from Utah, who's a total mad scientist, and then the RP day, or 2 days for RP. RP, we did 40 interviews.
That's great.
In basically a day and a half. And then we had essentially 12 hours of footage, because while Austin was recording the coaches panel upstairs at KW, I was downstairs with the leadership like breakout session or whatever you want to call it, where everybody asked very pointed questions. And so the rabbit hole that I've been going down is, okay, how do you make as much relevant content out of those massive data dumps that is actually usable and user friendly? And so I sent off a link this morning that probably has 125 reels in it. So something from each session, except for the leadership stuff. So like when it was kind of off the grid, I didn't parse that for public consumption. But the RP thing as well, where it was, and then I got quotes to get the sign for the neon sign.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Expensive? No?
I want to say it's like $300-$400.
Okay, that's actually lower than I thought it was.
Yeah, not horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I was guesstimating,
dimensions
on how
on the
big.
size.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that I was like, let's make it 3 feet wide. It was like, okay, that one was like $600.
Okay.
And then I thought about like, oh shit.
You don't really need a big, if you were going to do like a local podcast on-site thing, you don't need thing much bigger than this. I mean, essentially it's like over your shoulder. If we're too wide, right? Like you don't need it that dominating. If you had it like a 2x2, you don't need it much bigger than like boom against the wall.
Right. But you
so
almost
like
like,
maybe this
you
wide?
almost got me on the, well, what if we were just sitting on the set and this is flipped
What if we
sideways?
just put it up?
This is flipped
This
sideways
becomes
and
our
it's the
thing.
logo.
There's something
And then-
sexy about like the physical like neon signs or like
yes,
the like
absolutely.
just
Well,
the
it's eye-catching.
ambiance.
Well, I mean, you saw like sitting there at the front, you know,
yeah.
at the.
the
okay,
represent-
Austin, we had a camera go out.
Oh, it's camera. Are you up? Are we on camera too right now? Oh, well then we're not putting any footage out.
So
we probably have audio and
this
no
is our
camera. Hold
blackout
on one second.
broadcast.
We're gonna do a thing.
This is our blackout broadcast. There we go. Oh, okay, now it's back to me.
Yeah. We'll put Rick on at least.
Yeah, there you
as we
go.
do a swap.
Okay, so Austin, so note to self, the big Sony camera always overheats. So we're going to need to have the fan that we purchased and have charging actually
On that fan,
on the
keep it
camera.
cold.
Doesn't do it this quickly though.
That was fast.
Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So we have the equation has been that I've been trying to solve is you have these events that are dynamic when you're there, like the Shoney thing. His was live.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like serious FOMO because you missed out.
Yeah.
You know, and he was doing everything
And his
live.
slide deck did not help you. If you
No.
weren't in the room,
Oh, yeah.
which is great. Like those are the slide decks that I love. Like you make a slide deck and you make it, you know, reading a dictionary page, and you're just like, okay, why are you here telling me?
Right,
I can
right.
read.
I can read. Yeah, you
or
could-
just get rid of the slide and tell me, like one or
Yes.
the other. Stop. But
Yes.
Shoney did a good job of like minimalistic slides and like 1 or 2 words, usually just an image.
Yes.
and he'll just talk over the image.
Live and interactive.
Yes, love it.
And-
He did a really good job there.
And I think that's kind of the way a lot of the events today, because I mean, we live in, short attention span theater world where, like you said, if I got a Wikipedia page up there behind you, well, human nature is I'm trying to get ahead of you, or I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
If everybody has their phone and they're taking a picture of your slide, there's too much information on the slide.
Yep.
Like just saying, like I sometimes say, like it's cool, like that we all kind of like document it, like we're gonna go back to that picture and read it and like take notes with it. No, we're not, but like it makes us feel good in the moment.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna retain this. Like this is now dink in my brain, but it's not.
Yeah,
you'll never see it again.
It's that exactly. It's like, well, because I have a photo of it, I'm going to retain everything.
Or like at least I can go back. I get this comfort that I'll go back. I've never gone back and looked at like a picture of a slide in a thing.
Never.
But no.
This is the same thing with, you have people that just sit there and record giant chunks, and it's like, I'm sure statistically there's one psycho outlier that actually does.
Yeah.
Just like if you're in a room full of 100 people, when we were there at the AI thing, if there's 150 people in the room, I don't know, maybe 10% actually kind of cotton to what's going on. And then out of those, maybe another 10% or 25% would actually implement something. Yeah. But for most people, especially in that environment where it's more than flavor du jour, but it's brand new to almost everybody. And it's just, they're just getting sprayed. Yeah. And so the idea was like, okay, well, obviously, even if it's just flavor du jour, there is a call for it and there's an audience. And so like, okay, well, how do you actually put something together that is of value for not only the folks that came, so they have a follow-up that they can digest or take small bites, but how do you promote the next one for the folks that didn't come? Well, there you give them the teasers, just like you were talking about, like, we pull out the nuggets of smart, where it's like, okay, we tease it with like, hey, you missed this, well, just like we did the subject matter expert on Friday.
Oh yeah, which is great, by the way. I've gone through them all, but I got to pick my favorites because there's a lot. There's like 37 or something.
Or like they talk for what, 26 minutes?
Yeah, 26 minutes. We got like 37 pieces of content out of there. I think probably like 15 of them are really good.
15 of them are
like on point, and then like some other ones are too long, some are too short. But like I'm happy with the result, right?
Well, and like that was awesome because we did and I love it. Like, okay, let's do this because of the way. Pull the curtain back. We got a bunch of different gimmicks and gadgets here, and everybody loves vertical video.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the Sonys aren't necessarily native to doing anything like that.
Exactly. Those are stuff's built where if you turn it vertical,
the other gimmicks that it has to interface with don't like it.
Yeah.
However, if you turn them all sideways, then it's like, okay, this is usable. So you had the live switching aspect of, and really what it does is it gives you iPhone footage on steroids, where there's no loss of shine. And the switching bit worked killer because then it speeds up the process.
Yeah. Well, if we have two people in the studio and we want to, traditionally what we do is we record both people on one frame,
like the main shot,
like
here.
We are right now. So give me camera one.
Yeah, go to camera one. That's
we record
us.
just like this, right? And then we'd punch in to me when I was talking, and we'd punch into you when you were talking. And I like for some purpose, I actually really like the fact that it's like a little grainier and grungier, because it shows that it's extracted from something larger, which I think is valuable.
And people are used to it.
Yeah, subconsciously it's valuable, and people are like, ooh, that's grainy, but like there's a purpose there. Anyway, turning it vertical allows us not to have to do that punch, right? And now that Austin's live switching it, when we have two people, whoever's talking gets the camera, full body.
Yes, TV interview style.
Yeah, TV interview style. Like 60 minutes.
And it comes out ready-made.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to do the punch. We don't get the granular. We don't get the loss. As long as we're live switching it, it works great. So that's what this kind of Monday morning thing's usually about. Is what we're. It looks like we're up here giving you guys a podcast, but usually we're kicking the tires or testing something new that we've got in the background, because our other podcasts, people that pay us money, that has to go pretty flawless.
Yeah, right? Well, and a lot of times too, we are building the plane in midair on all fronts. Or
somebody has an idea on like Thursday. It's like, hey, can you do this for our next Wednesday podcast? And we're like, shit, maybe. Let's try it.
I can give you a solid maybe.
Yeah, I can give you a maybe.
Yeah, definitely maybe.
We can definitely hook it up and see if it works the way you want it.
Yeah. So, well, no different than how we ultimately got to where we did the memorial service and the live stream there. It was like, okay, this works under these conditions. However, if, A and C are not present, we record.
Yeah. Well, we did the memorial service. We learned some things about how to do that. And then you went into the DPR office and did
In the lobby.
did a live stream in the lobby there.
Yes.
Which is another, just like you learn a little thing there, you learn a little thing here. And then when we came to the RP thing, even though we weren't live but if we had a live internet feed, I feel like we could have done everything
absolutely.
we do here in studio.
Yes, 100%.
No problem. That was good to see because we get lots of requests for like
and it was how we even got to the neon thing where it's like, okay, this is a vibe, this is a cool idea. And like I said, we did 40. I think I did 17 of the 40 interviews over
you
that.
did a bunch of those interviews. I did like 3.
Dude, it was bonkers. And it was such a cool thing. And just even the energy from day 1 to day 2, where by day 2, by lunchtime, it's like, okay, now we got this shit wired tight, and we are in a spot where everybody is seeing it. The visibility is off the charts. And so now it will be like, okay, how do we do that locally? And we ratchet up the value for our, clients, friends, and everybody that we work with, because so the next level will be to the Metro Texas of the world, where it's like, okay, you've got the gigantic event where there's 400 people there or whatever. Okay, well, now we bring the podcast set that's out in the main hallway, where, okay, and you saw where it's like, oh, it's the coolest photo op ever. Don't get me on, I want to talk and I don't want to be recorded, but I want to take my picture like I am being recorded. And so then that goes out. Well, it's one thing if it's a national event and it's like, woo, everybody's got they're all fired up or whatever. But when we do that locally, okay, now it's a contained universe and it's self-contained. Now all of that promotion goes locally, and everybody that sits down and does the fake photo op or whatever, boom, that goes out. FOMO, boom, that's a FOMO deposit. And then if we carve up the entire event internally and do the takeaways, handouts, all of the other stuff, and the reels, boom, that's a whole nother, couple hundred pieces of FOMO. Same thing with the podcast thing. Well, I want to sit down and be interviewed, or I want to talk about it, or testimonial. Hey, what did you think of so-and-so? Oh, their presentation was amazing. Oh, so the idea that we're building this self-contained machine that is just this, it's funny. I think I did the content creation at scale as a tagline, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or 5 years ago, but it's only now materializing.
Yeah, actually, we are doing content creation at scale.
Yeah, and half the shit that we're using now wasn't even invented yet. And so, so it was okay. It's kind of an alliteration, but it was ahead of its time. Now the world is caught up. But I'm super excited. And then so to your point, also, a lot of times it's like somebody asks a question, or you overhear something, you go like, oh, that's good, or that's potentially good. And then my favorite thing is to be like, I don't know. I think. And so we were talking earlier about SEO versus GEO and the generative engine optimization, where it's essentially, how would you say, like make AI like you or find you, or
make your online presence readable.
Yes, there
to
you go.
AI,
Better,
right?
Yes.
Is kind of thing. So SEO is an acronym that most people have heard of, and just to back things up to a starting point for everybody, search engine optimization is basically what we would do to make sure that your website showed up top of search rank, right? When you Googled things, right? We would optimize your websites and your blogs, your social presence, or your digital presence to be shown first in search rank. It was all about search rank.
Yes, and you would have organic and paid. And at some point in time, just Google became the evil empire, and it was like, that's why Zillow, Realtor.com, and HAR locally all come up 1, 2, and 3 on 123 Main Street. Zillow is always going to win because they back a dump truck full of money up every morning to Google, and they basically like, we want all the words.
Yeah, but you could game the system. It's like, okay, we're gonna put words in behind our pictures, and we're gonna put like name the pictures things, and you're gonna write blog posts that are gonna come out here, and you're gonna link these things together.
Backlink, and you're gonna so
we just kind of just the same way people are trying to manipulate an algorithm in most of the social platforms, right? Or testing things. SEO is very much the same animal. Now the behavior shifting. Right, the way that people are searching for things are different. We've got tens of millions of people using ChatGPT on a daily basis.
Yes,
right. Not only to help them, find a recipe or like make this email sound better, which is literally the first thing everybody tells me they use. I do it to make me sound better, but also to find out information about the world, to find out about people and about businesses. And things that are happening around them.
I did it yesterday, the day before. I was like, just give me the highest rated car tune-up places in 75287.
Yeah, and that might be. Now it becomes more important than ever to make sure that when you chat GPT somebody, that the information comes up as accurate. Now that's easier and harder depending on like your name. If your name's John Smith, it's harder to get like accurate GEO data. But like Tanner Hobbs is actually a famous Australian workout model, like a fitness model, and like workout, like blogger.
Good day.
Yeah, good day, mate. So she is more famous than me. So like SEO competition,
Okay.
I always lose.
I didn't see that coming.
In SEO competition. No, she kicks my ass.
But it's a she.
It's a she. Tanner Hobbs.
Okay.
It's a she. You can look it up.
Right on.
She's cuter than I am, and she dominates like the SEO. So it can be harder to do.
Wow.
But I got to make sure that if somebody here is like, hey, tell me about Tanner Hobbs in Plano, Texas, or tell me about Studio USA, that the Studio USA that you're asking about comes up, and the information is accurate and flattering, in for lack of a better term, right? That we're painting ourselves in a good light, because we no longer control what the generative platform is going to present, right? We can control the information that it has access to, or not really. We can control the information that we present.
Yes.
But if you've got a bunch of 1-star reviews out there, right? If you've got a bunch of people talking bad, if your information isn't up to date, if your calendar's not up to date, if you've got old content,
or if like that. For all the people that are just doing dumb shit on social media, where I see it all the time, where something will come up in my feed or whatever, and people that I know are engaged in a very useless and unnecessary flame war about fill in the blank, and it's like, wow, okay. Probably didn't need to put that out there, but I'm glad that you're passionate, and that's the sort of thing where, because as people get better at the prompting, it will go more granular.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that you can't get away from.
Yeah. I think there's going to be AIs that, like, there's going to be prompting AI platforms. Like, you're going to feed it something, and then it's going to create a prompt to prompt the AI, because we're too lazy to actually learn how to prompt it.
I already asked it to, because like I get so pissed at it, and because it drifts, and it's, and of course this is the worst it's ever going to be, but it has, I want to say it's 100,000 characters in a thread that is the basically where by the time you get there, it's like been 2 degrees off on the compass, but it's now 5,000 miles away from home, and you've taken a left around the world.
Yeah, I was just off, but over time,
yes,
that distance is someplace.
So there, it's exactly what you said, where you got to check to make sure that the accurate information is indeed accurate, because a lot of people just, the robot said so.
The robot said so. Yeah, like I mean, we'd be so. How quick were we? To just be like, yeah, whatever, robot says so.
Yeah,
and it's gospel all of a sudden.
Yes, and the other thing is too that if you have it get information from biased sources, whatever that might be, well, then its answer is going to be biased.
Biased sources on the internet?
I know, it's hard to believe. It's rare, but it happens. Yes. And so to all of that, Andrew Miller, one of my absolute favorites, she's now obsessed. It's so funny. And it's not that she was a Luddite or whatever, but she absolutely had... website, this, that, and the other thing. But I can remember the exact conversation where she had probably said Andrea at andreamiller.com as her email. And and then like one day it was like, I don't think we actually have that email address turned on. And I was like, what? So, I mean, we fixed it that day. And this was years ago, but we fixed it that day. But it was like one of those things where we were just, shooting from the hip, doing stuff, inventing it as, making it up as we go. And then now we've come all the way back around. And the idea of going down and actually asking, hey, audit Andrea Miller, her digital footprint. And so it will literally give you every bit of detail that it can find. And this is beautiful, because this is what John Q. Public is going to find. And so this is where we can start to massage. Now, we're not going to make anything up. We're not going to fake anything.
No.
But we can certainly direct traffic, And so here we're putting her content out on a constant basis. And
so it found that where her content was. You can see the Studio USA is the one that's posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, of course, that helps for us. But on a parallel track, when she comes in today, we're going to start doing subject matter experts, because I have a few, and this is very interesting, because Mary Reeves and Andrea Miller overlap, both in 75093, and they live in subdivisions next door to each other.
Okay.
And so in the extreme definition, they are technically competition, but not. Because everybody's sphere is different and everybody's style is different. And they both crush. They both had $20 million years next to each other.
Yeah.
So it tells you that it's like there's enough to go around. And back whenever I was the one doing the main gimmicks for everybody, there's a stylistic overlap that is just, you can't avoid it. But now we're going to get far more intentional. And the idea being that, okay, what can we do to have this when somebody says real estate in Plano, Texas?
Best real estate agent in Plano, Texas. How does Andrea Miller show up?
How does that show up? And then how can we massage that? And so recommendation for optimization. And so it's a lot of things in the types of content, hashtags, etc. But then I actually went down and did a much more detailed dive where now, and I wanted to see like how many hours a week would this take? And it says like, okay, if you split duties, you have a creator, which is one of us, and then editors and or VAs or whatever. So like 15 to 18 hours. But now it's actually saying what to do. And it's actually giving you course corrections to make, and like here, the Google business page and cross posting. Okay, so now we make that where they post this and this, or post this on Google Business and Facebook, social media, Instagram, or whatever at the same time. So there's
the algorithm sees these parallel existences.
And so then when AI searches everything all at once, two things come up that are exactly the same, but in different locations. And it's like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
I got to get deeper into this because, over the past, 2 months is really something like I've really been thinking about.
Yes.
Like this, since we interviewed Rachel at the SME interview, and I used ChatGPT to find create a profile for her.
You actually did it.
I did it before, like I knew GEO was a thing,
right?
And then I was like, oh, there's this behavior that I'm doing is something that everybody's doing,
it's not
and that's
unique.
affecting the way that we need to present ourselves online. Like it's just big light bulb, but I came about it back way through my behavior.
Yes, you actually did it organically.
Not through some sort of like scientific approach
or the day long gimmick in the classroom where you walk away going like, oh, that was interesting. And then like me, I don't actually have a life, so it's like. I just go down these rabbit holes and it's like, okay, well then I will also, because like now the other thing is that you never hear about is the stacking of the AI platforms, which is just ridiculous. And so this is just the most minuscule surface level skimming the rock GPT, which is what most people are going to do. But now we'll take this and cross-reference, etc., and then throw it in the blender with what we learned from. So like, and this is perfect because Andrea is actually part of the leadership. She's a contract, she's the 1099 for the actual people that did the leadership retreat. So now I can take all of that, which is fair game for her because she's one of their agents. And so I can take that, dovetail it in, put it in the blender, puree that, boom, see what comes out the other side. And it's like, okay, this is how we would distill down what was done for an office for one singular agent or team. And then that becomes something that we can then circle back around, because the beauty of all of this, especially when you start stacking them, is that one begat one, and then one begat another, and then they combine to do this thing, and then this thing over here exists all by itself. So I've got PowerPoints, PDFs, action plans, class outlines, just all of this stuff from essentially sitting in one room for an entire day. And it then spider webs out into all this stuff. And to be able to go back, and the beauty of it is it distills down, it's wheat from chaff, and I even did it with the coaches panel, but that was a lesson learned where the audio was just not good. Because you were there, and like the mic would work on this side of the room and not work on that side.
I had to
of the
leave,
room.
but I saw the footage. So I understand it was backlit from the TV. And the mic was in the wrong place.
And then the coaches panel was even more of a challenge because you had 4 people talking, but now I know the outline. And now I know the map where it's like, okay, person 1, name, rank, serial number. Person 2, name, rank, serial number. So then if there's a panel of 4 or 5 people, we can distill out everything that each individual said. And then we can kind of cross-reference that and like give us the overall double-blind confirmation action plan based on what everybody said. And that way you're not like, well, I like what that guy said, but like, where's that other person? You know, because a lot of times you come out confused because it's impossible. It would be categorically impossible to absorb all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and even the people that are teaching it, it took them forever to get to that level, you know? And so this is, there's never a shortcut, but this certainly is a gas pedal.
Well, I mean, this is certainly a shortcut for any content if you're not like unscripted, like the panels that we have.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
because it took, Tiffany D and Macy's
that
thing.
one. Yes.
And like that's not something we didn't have slides for. We didn't know what questions were going to be asked. We didn't know what they were going to talk about.
Correct.
And it took in the middle of a presentation where we had some structure, and all of a sudden it broke away, and it's like here's a gap where nobody's going to get the takeaways if they don't like write it down or absorb the whole thing. And that's where all the meat and potatoes were.
And that was the actual.
That was the stuff.
Yes.
That's where people raised their hand and they were asking questions. So we take that, and AI was able to boil that.
Oh yeah,
down.
yeah. I was thinking of the coaches panel. So not
Oh, so sorry, we're on two different things.
No,
because I was like, wow, this is valuable because you basically took everything these girls said for what 20 minutes, and you just boiled it down to like the real nuggets, and then it broke it out in the different people. It's like this person does this and how different they were.
And we lucked out there in that Teresa's style was one at a time, so there was like delineation between each person, so that made it easier for the robots to actually figure out who said what. And that came out, like you said,
it came out really clean.
Oh, that was kick ass.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like we're not unless I wrote 5 to 10 pages of notes the entire time they were talking, I would not have come away with nearly as much of the information. That was just given back. Just it's a recap. Like, hey, what were those girls talking about? There's essentially bullet points. Of their checklist. Like, what was that? What was the chat bot that Tiffany uses in order to do her respond? It's in the notes.
Yes,
I didn't write that shit down.
Right.
So like,
well, and the beauty of that was each one of them was different. Oh, I do YouTube. Oh no, I'm just in Instagram to my sphere. Oh no, I'm out here just getting buy side business. You know.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit. Okay, you've got three. I forgot all about that one. Where you have three people. Completely, they're all it's same but different. They're all doing the same thing, variations on a theme, and all of it works if that's who you are. You know what I mean?
It only works if that's who you are.
Yes, and that's just like Lacey and Courtney, where it's like they kill it because that's who they are. You know, and the whole idea of I'm going to square peg round hole this thing. It's like no, you should probably figure out like what shape of peg are you, and then let's go. And then, so that's what we're doing with Andrea too, where I already know stylistically, you know, where I would aim her direction wise. But a lot of it is too just getting like somebody that is a rock star on every level, but just needs to dial it in and focus. And so, you know, one of the, if you want to call it an upside of a down market or a market shift is, okay, now we've got time to recalibrate. And I'll be doing the same thing with Donna and Terry tonight, where it's like, okay, now I get to take these things and for the guinea pigs, if you will, or the willing volunteers or the trusted clients, or, you know, however you want to, categorize it, really ratchet everything down and like kick it into overdrive. And so a lot of the shit that you and I have made up as we went can now be refined and dialed into a level that is, well, unlike anything we've ever done. You know, and so this is a force multiplier for sure.
Yeah, we'll have an actual product we can sell.
Yes, yes. Well, and that's the crazy thing about. I've done so many different things for so long with no real concrete plan. You know, like half the stuff I've just go, oh, that seems cool. Yeah, you know, and then if it turns out to actually be cool, well, then I do it, you know, as often as possible. And then there's other shit that I've done once where I'd come out and cruise and be like, okay, we're never doing that again. That was a bad idea. Even the sandwich,
even if it was cool,
or even the sandwich was shitty. You know, where you're like, oh goddamn. But just like going to the AI day-long mastermind thing, and then showing up for the RP convention, the way. There was no way on paper for those two things to converge into something that is now a uniquely one-of-a-kind proposition that works at basically an industrial level. To where like, oh, you're having an event. Here, let's put this in, you know, the Tommy gun of content. You know, where before Because God Almighty, I couldn't tell you how many times I've gone to things like that, and you come away going like, "Oh, that was cool. Or that one guy was great," or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what did that lady say about the thing?
Yeah.
And then it all just goes away. And then, especially whenever going back to last week, you're like, "So what does the affiliate committee really do?" Where it's like, because from the outside looking in, you're like, "What the hell is this?" It's like a grab ass committee or whatever, and we're just talking or whatever. But it used to be, or it still is, but they're at one point in time, because I'm starting to get the anniversary stuff now on my Facebook. Like, holy shit, I've totally forgot about that. Like 10 years ago we did X, or 11 years ago it was Y. And a lot of that was this exact thing. Metro Techies, half-day event, kick-ass information coming in from NAR, TAR, the whole 9 yards. Everybody there is blown away by the information, and they retain next to nothing. And
what they remember is they were at this cool, they went to this really cool conference.
And I
like, what'd you learn? And be like, oh, all about AI, man.
Oh yeah.
And be like, really? Like what?
Yeah.
It's changing everything.
Yeah, it's the future.
It's like, give me something tangible that you took away.
And it's like, that's a big ask.
Yeah.
But I said all that to say that now there is, so like all the things that I've learned 10 years ago were like, well, how do we get people to the next one? Well, it's like, you just hope the vibe was good enough that they come back. And the sandwich was good.
Yeah.
And now we've kind of solved that. We've solved for that. And, man, anything else?
I was looking at the clock. I was like, we've been talking for a while. So thank you. We're good. Until Friday. Then I'll be back here Friday, right? Since Wayne's still on his road show.
Yeah.
So see you Friday and a lot in between.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
Take care. Have a good one.